Um, Klaus is going to look over to Edonia and say, "This town we may be going to, there may or may not be somebody there who can give you information on your father."
She's giving him a straight-faced look because he had previously said he had no information, and now he suddenly does.
Did you say that to me, or you
Yeah,
just...
that's what she's doing.
Okay. You're right.
Because he previously said, or he previously said that he had no information, but now he suddenly has some information. So she's just giving him a blank stare.
You're right. I don't have any information per se myself, but there is somebody in this village who might know something if they're still there. It's hard to say. There's been many years since I've been there. There's only one way to find out.
So Otto's on the ground now. Did he take any damage? He rolled 11. Alright.
The local street guard are now just staring at us.
And then
Oh my god, I just thought about that. Like, they've been just seeing random mugs of fire get thrown, and then giant Iron Man comes tumbling over the side, followed by...
Yeah, we got thrown from up there too.
I am going to say, I will await your answer down below, and then step up,
He jumps too.
jump off. But I'm going to use my copper ring of Featherfall to not take. Yeah, I can only use that once a day. I'll do it elegantly.
Phalar just,
These people.
like, he was in the middle of trying to take a drink from his tankard, and then he just puts it down on the table and does, like, you know, the two hands palms up forward thing, like the what is going on, and he's like, the door is right there, what are they doing?
She's gonna. And then he just kind of shrugs. She's moving towards the door. And
Phalar stands up and he walks over.
While we're waiting on the rest of them, he's going to tell them, y'all stay here. I'll be back. I'm going to go get our transportation. I shall return.
How long is a short rest in this again? I forgot. Alright, I couldn't remember.
And then as he's walking, he's going to see those two and pass by them and say, I'm off to get our buggy. I shall return in just a little bit. I called all right.
If guards start to question Shinj, he's gonna get very skittish.
No, we were thrown from up there too, so
so above the table, this is gonna be a little awkward because my hooded cape produces what appears to be fire, even though it's cool to the touch. So as I'm walking around the corner, does something happen here? She's gonna look at him and just be like, "Fires around here? No, fires where I'm from, everywhere."
Fire can be dangerous. We should leave.
Oh yeah,
I
I saw a
agree.
tiefling in there named Jack. He was shoveling hot coals out onto his bedroll. You should go check that out. Oh yeah, as I get back, as we were waiting on the buggy to come. Deception.
Above the table, Adonia's gonna have to be
21.
careful now. Because with this cloak and the fiery stuff behind her, she might not want to be farting so much anymore.
I rolled a 21.
That's how. That's how our new villain was created.
Oh my goodness.
They make sure to get his instruments. Did they break his loot and stuff? I think he was a bard too.
Oh my god.
My family heirloom.
And we'll just wait for the cart to show up. I will get in and then ask, shall we go then?
If it's only half a day's travel, we can always return if we need anything, so... Look to the others, and then Taylor's gonna get in.
Alright.
Oh.
Sin just taking a box and a barrel. Oh, I can get a barrel in my inventory.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. There was a whole thing that somebody I know was talking about with how the Locatha species that you can play as requires being submerged in water every like 12 hours, otherwise they start dying because they're fish people. And someone was like, well, what you do is you just have one of your party members wear a water barrel on their back and you ride in it.
Oi, oi. Once he takes that box and barrel, he'll join the party when they call him over. Where are we going?
Oh, we're going to a town not too far away, so it's not too big.
A half a day's travel away. We will be taking this buggy. It is courtesy of our friend here. Well, potential friend. I mean, he's done us no harm so far.
Did we forget
Do
someone?
I'd never do my friends harm. Who are you missing, Otto?
What happened to Steve?
Who is this Steve?
Actually, that is a good point. Well, I do suppose if I believe he locked himself in his room back on the airship when we were coming back. So
Should we
perhaps
Uh,
he has some sort of sermon or study to do and cannot be interrupted.
should we stop by and see if he'd like to join us?
Would
Yeah.
Singe be able to do insight against Klaus to find similarities for him and Steve?
Maybe, but they're
Don't.
complete opposites. So I don't know if that would. It may be at disadvantage, but Lake could tell us that.
Yeah, as I say, don't know. Late's not here.
uh,
No, I wasn't sure if I heard him return.
like, I've been wondering, like, did anybody ask what happened to Steve?
No,
What?
it took y'all forever to go around back and find him last session too. Passed out.
Singe didn't notice. He was busy tinkering.
Since it's been acting
Phalar
like
has just kind of
like a
been
boy
assuming,
friend.
oh, he's a paladin, so he's probably got some kind of religious thing he's got to do, and it's got to be done in isolation.
I'd most likely feel Singe would only notice through like vibes, so some type of insight, be like, "You're really like Steve," type deal.
Steve was nice and helped the weak and poor. He only wanted to kill the cultists that were related to the cult of Klaus.
10-foot flight speed. I guess it could be combined with this. I really want to do a potion maker. I just don't like how it puts me on such a tiny experimental elixir list. I want to craft different potions than just the basic 6 they have here.
I've seen a lot of homebrew ones you could maybe look at.
Yeah. Thing is, this is just a recent interest too. I still want to do that magic archer class for fighter, and
There's also Blood Hunter also has one of the subclasses that is a bit underutilized that does serums and stuff, but that's like major positives and major negatives when you drink it.
What would happen to Singe if we were to cast heat metal on him?
Oh,
Problem.
Well, he wouldn't be pleased,
he would
but he
probably be
probably
very
wouldn't be too
uncomfortable.
hurt.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might not take damage from it, or if he does, it would probably be at a slower rate. You know, it'd be up to late. But I mean, he would probably do fire damage to people because the entire thing is metal.
The steel defender would take the majority of the damage.
Yeah, it'd probably be a trade-off. The shield defender is kind of getting heated and melting, but then at the same time, you're probably dealing the heat to people.
Singe would probably take like the first bit of damage, but then once he realized what was hurting him, he'd have a way of dealing with it.
Welcome back.
Question. Would Singe be able to insight into Klaus's similarity to Steve?
Into Mr. Ravenheart.
Okay. Okay.
But we're still
So-
wondering where is Steve.
Yeah, I think we talked about going by the airship for them to check.
So he's a
on
new
if they wanted to
person, and he's inherently
point.
questionable to siege of his just own natures.
Because while you were gone, Otto was like, "Wait, where's Steve?" And then I was like, "Well, he locked himself in the room on the airship. I assumed he was just doing some kind of religious thing."
While y'all decide if y'all want to head to the airship to check on Steve.
Yeah.
So, and
Of
Antonio,
course.
Antonia's gonna look at the boogie, look at the people that she knows for the party, then look up at the still mystery figure. And then she's gonna state she'll get into the buggy, she'll go to the town, but if the person with the information isn't there, then she won't be there either. And then she'll get in.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Where is Steve?
While we were on the road, could I utilize short rest time to attune to the Shield Guardian's amulet? So pretty much while we're there, he would just kind of be like looking across the markings on it and stuff like that, and looking at all the intricacies of it, trying to get used to how it feels and all that.
We have
And
enough
then I'd
time for a
imagine-
long rest, yeah?
I'd imagine like it's probably a thing where like once he's attuned to it, suddenly like it just blips into his head, kind of thing.
All right, I'm back.
The whole ride, Andonia's just gonna be staring down our mystery acquaintance here.
So what it is once I'm attuned, I know the distance and direction of the Shield Guardian, provided that it is on the same plane of existence.
Did y'all go by the airship?
We should be. Should be at
I
the
imagine we just find the cabin door open and Steve's just not there.
And we would probably just assume that he must have gone off to do his own thing. And then been like, well, it's not too far away. I'm sure we'll, see him again at some
Right.
point.
Wouldn't he tell us?
Well, we went off before telling him where we were going, so.
Hmm.
I mean, we could assume above the table that what had happened is when he came out of his room, he realized everyone's gone, so then he ventured off into town and then couldn't find us.
Yeah.
We should leave a note in his room just in case.
Yeah, leave a note.
That's a great idea. And he'll get
it's-
out some paper and find something to write with, a piece of chalk probably, or charcoal.
Great idea. A bit late, but
And and because it's singed, when he grabs the paper, it sets on fire.
Oh no.
Just burnt at the edges. It's okay.
That's his signature.
And Andonia is gonna look at our mystery friend, and while she's staring at him, she'll use her staff, while still making eye contact with him, use her staff to point towards the village and say, "Is that where he is?"
They've but yes, that is the village directly in front of us behind those walls.
And then, upon him saying that, she'll re-grasp her staff, and then she's gonna push her way past him and start heading up.
Before you go in, the person you'll be looking for is a old guard. His name, I think, was Fleric or Carrick or something along that line. Maybe Derek. I don't know. But that's who you should ask for in town. And if you need me, I will be in the arcane study. There's some research I need to do.
Now, is she gonna pick up on the fact, or pick up anything that she knows that he said the name Derek at our meeting, and is now like throwing out names that sound like Derek?
Well, I said an old guard. I didn't say it was part of the heroes.
Oh, no, I'm saying because like you said, Fleric or Merrick or Derek, but you
Yeah.
when we met, you said Derek the first time that you knew someone named Derek.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wondering if she would have picked up on that. All right, so Adonia is going to proceed up the path with the being set on looking for Derek.
What was the map? I got sent to the place between boards.
Moonstone Village.
Oh,
Not me.
Nice.
Yeah, Derek and Klaus had started.
I'm saying Silas is a sugar daddy.
Maybe you should get a better Patreon and you could be a sugar daddy too.
This
Only if,
You
only
got
if.
gypped. You got gypped. I don't know who you Patreoned with, but it wasn't one Silas did.
I still think it's funny. I saw someone online at one point that was like, I spent decades trying to get the tribute of an ancient being or signed a death-defying contract, and I have earned secrets of the world. What are those secrets? I can cast one level 1 spell.
That's me, right? All right. Do I notice that he's behind me? Was he following pretty close?
Yeah, I was following pretty close.
All right. So she's gonna point behind, and then point at. Well, I'll just say Klaus. I don't want to keep saying mystery person.
That's fine. I just say
Uh,
Ravenheart. That's his last name.
She's gonna point back at Ravenheart, and while looking at the guard, and she's gonna say, "This man here brought us here. Said that an informant that I'm looking for named Derek resides here."
And when she says that, he's gonna look up and say, "Is Father Valek still here? An old friend's come to visit."
Above the table, late. You got someone you got to ban in your chat. Yep, scammer.
Best views.
No, it's not a view. They come in, they leave that message,
Yeah.
trying to scam you to go buy views, and then they leave.
What the? Oh,
I guess the rest of the party's making their way up.
yeah.
Mhm.
Father Valix and Vel.
And
Damn it.
when he says that, Antonio would just kind of snicker a little bit and be like, ah, we just came from there.
It's a wasted trip on my part.
So she's gonna kind of give a sincere but half-assed bow, say thank you, and then she's just gonna start walking past everybody again.
We have come this way with our new acquaintance here to see the town and perhaps find a little bit of respite. We have come from Vale as well to this way. He offered to bring us here, so we accepted, and now we are here. As that happens, he kind of looks up and he's like, "That is a rather impressive fortification that you all have as well, might I say. It definitely helps add to the feeling of security." That is true.
Before Donya leaves, Klaus is going to pull something out of his pocket and hand it to her and say, "Show this to him. He should recognize this and maybe give you the answers that you seek." And he's going to give her the Eye of Unbound Souls. I would like this back whenever you come back.
What was the last part?
I would like it back whenever you come back.
What happens if Derek decides to keep it?
I'll go see Derek. If he decides he wants to keep it, that is fine. I will go by and see him later to get it.
All right. So yeah, she'll like aggressively take it from him and make her way. And then if they want to do their thing first, above the table, they want to do their thing first. I'm trying to plow down my dinner right now, and then you can get to me.
What's happening?
Valar steps in, and as he enters, he looks around, and for like the first time in the span that uh we've all been kind of traveling, he seems to relax just a little bit more, just enough to take his hand off of his dagger, which then causes one of his flasks that he keeps within the pick and pocket thing to appear in his hand, and then he gets like a look and he's like, "Oh right," and then he puts it in his pocket. So I've been thinking about it, and I was like, I mean, it says if I let go of the dagger, then it comes out of the space. But if I'm still holding it in the sheath, it should still be in there. But he just let go of it because he's relaxing a little, seeing that there's walls, meaning that the flask just appears in his open hand that he had it in. They just tucks it away.
When the gate slams, you hear an ominous, evil laugh.
He looks to the rest of the party and he's like, I'm one to always stay on edge, but the wall does help me feel a bit more at ease. Oh yeah, wait. I don't know if you already had it planned or if you got to figure it out still, but since I did attune to the amulet, I'd probably just have like the sudden blip in my head of, oh, I know where the guardian is because it gives me its direction and distance. I'm assuming it's probably not just sitting out in the forest somewhere, so it's probably in some kind of ruin or something, since they did say that the adventurer just kind of handed it off to him.
While you go in, Klaus is going to tell the party he has something he has to go take care of, and he'll meet back up with them. And he'll go out of the village a different way and go hide in the woods near the place where Derek is and cast Find Familiar. So he's within 100 feet of it, but hidden, and send the familiar in the house as a spider so he can watch and listen to what's going on in there. I'll just keep a watch until Edonia shows up. Trying to
Phalar would probably just kind of be wandering around, you know, taking it in because he actually feels a little bit safe with the wall. Though he'd probably also, before he does that, having felt the direction and everything of the shield guardian that the amulet's connected to, he kind of looks at Singe and he's like, my metal operating friend, I should tell you that this necklace that I bought at that magic shop could bring another interesting construct invention into the party. Should I track it down?
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
We're back.
And then he kind of gives a smile and he's like, I can sense its direction, but I should rest before I try to move on it. It's not too far, though.
What was
If you command it to, probably, but Phalar isn't aware of that part. He's just aware of the fact that he knows where it is.
What
Cause
was Tex's old character called?
that was Winter.
Oh, he's actually called. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's based off of, I do like a little bit of world building outside of D&D stuff. I've got a little world that I've made for myself. I haven't written any stories for it, but I've been kind of tinkering with it here and there since like 7th grade. And the personal operative agent for the leader of the main protagonist is Agent Winter, so I made Winter Storm based off of him by D&Difying him into a fighter. There's actually like a whole thing behind why his name's spelled like that and all sorts of stuff, but
Oh, come on.
okay. Late. Just to let you know, I was looking back at it. Humanoid that attunes to this amulet knows the distance and direction of the shield guardian, provided the amulet and the guardian are on the same plane of existence. As an action, the amulet's attuned wearer can try to reactivate the shield guardian, doing so with a successful DC 20 Arcana check. Reactivation can only be attempted while the amulet and guardian are within 10 feet of each other. So if it's not actually active, since nobody's been wearing this amulet for whoever knows how long, then I do have to go seek it out and channel it to reactivate it. If like, say like the adventurer put on the amulet, attuned to it, and then couldn't figure out how the hell to get the guardian to wake up, so he might have just sold off the amulet thinking it was trash. So that's probably that. I do still have the inspiration from the fight if that didn't wear off or anything. So I might end up, once I actually get there, using that to nat 20 the Arcana check for it. But, you know, we'll do the Derek House stuff first. We'll let Indonia do their thing first.
Is that the house I'm at? Sorry. That's why I was wanting to make sure. Because there's somebody sitting outside. I was like, wait, is this the right one? Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm trying to look here. Is there like a window or something near the door or attached to the door? Alright. I wasn't gonna sneak in. I was more or less gonna above the table. What I was gonna do, or what she was gonna do, was knock on the door, call out for Derek, say Klaus sent her, and then hold the little amulet that he handed me in front of the window, so kind of get his attention that he actually sent me.
Mr. Ravenheart, you don't know it was Klaus.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see if Derek remembers Klaus's last name or not.
Well, if that's the case, yeah, she'll just knock.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Antonio call back through the door. I'm looking for a gentleman by the name of Derek. I was sent here by Mr. Ravenheart, right?
Yeah.
Ravenheart? Okay. Mr. Ravenheart, he's given me an amulet to show that you two know each other. He sent me to get some information about my father, that you two knew him.
It's a glass eye, not like a prosthetic eye.
Oh, okay.
He knew
It's
perfectly well
been how many years?
too.
Okay, not the longest. I actually still have the character sheet, but my history stat is garbage.
He did.
Yeah,
live
no,
in
it's just
Scotland
like
with his wife.
he'd vaguely be like, "Have I heard that somewhere before? Haven't I?" But he wouldn't remember.
As he's saying this, Andonia's just holding the eye out in front of her, in front of the door, in case he's opens the door so he can see that first.
Eyeball.
Would, because it's been 2 years, would Derek, looking upon me, since above the table, Klaus did see the resemblance in Andonia for atmosphere, is Derek going to be able to see it as well?
I can make a check of some kind. 15.
I'm going to hold my hand up so he can get to it. Oh, I'm not leaving yet, so I'm just waiting. Give him a chance to look over the eye and see if the door might open back up or the slot opens.
What do I see on the inside as he's?
Should I like start taking him over at some point, or?
He opens the door again and is just completely like cleaned up and everything. Just like, sorry, I had a bit of a moment.
He opens the slot in the door, chucks the eye out, and shuts the slot again. You might also hear a slight thump inside as he lays on the floor, face down.
Hmm.
It's a dream. It's got to be a dream.
Hmm. So kind of gently, because didn't hear it close or relock. So she's going to, without going inside, just gently open up the door a crack. And she's going to say in kind of like a soft tone, not to spook him, and something to the effect of, Mr. Derek, I didn't mean to cause any bad memories or issues. I just have a question as if you happen to know the whereabout of my father or if he has been around anytime recently.
Above table, would Derek mistake that as Andonia talking about Klaus as her father? Since he brought that eye, he freaked out. And he got confused.
There's just kind of face down, muffled groaning, and eventually groans a bit louder and is like, I haven't seen anyone from the old party in years. I haven't looked either. Too many memories, too many headaches. If you insist, you'll eventually sit up. Kind of shake his head.
As Derek is thinking, she'll calmly mention her father's name is Atmosphere.
Atmosphere. Werewolf, big one. Loved the name. Atmosphere. It was very dramatic. Made everything feel important. Don't know if he's still out there, howling at the moon. If he is, I hope he's happy.
Are y'all talking through the door? Did he invite you inside?
I'm still talking through the crack in the door that I made.
Yeah.
Would Derek know anything more specific? Has anyone actually interacted with him in some way that he might be forgetting? No, that's what I thought. See Derek get out a flask and start drinking. Getting started early today.
Alright, what Donia is gonna do is she to the effect of she's going to thank Derek for his time, and then she's going to take 15 gold and she's gonna set it within just wrist deep of the crack of the door, and she's gonna set it down in a stack right there, and then she's gonna mention, "Thank you for your time. This is for you. Use it for your drink. Use it for your food. Use it for whatever accommodations you'll need." And then she's going to close the door and then start to head away. Oh, she gonna pick up the eye and then start to head away.
While she does that, the door closes. I'm gonna cast through my familiar illusionary script on the door where Derek is looking, and have it spell out "be seeing you" with a signed K underneath it. What did Donya hear that as she leaves?
As Adonia's leaving, you just hear what sounds like somebody knocking over an entire rack of dishes.
Is it the Klaus?
Yeah, Klaus cast the illusory script through his familiar to say "be seeing you" signed with the little K on the inside of the door that Derek was looking at.
Derek probably opens the slot in the door and chucks the drink he was just drinking and throws it out the slot.
Above
Now it's too early.
Above table, for people that don't know where the "be seeing you" quote comes from, that's from Jeepers Creepers. If anybody's seen those movies.
No.
I think I've seen part of one.
It's a horror movie.
Derek
I've-
probably wouldn't have seen it.
I've recently got into horror movies. The only ones that I've watched that I've always kept track of is Terrifier. I've always been into Terrifier.
So as Klaus sees him do that and he does it, he'll make his way back to town and try and find the location to the cult and go and talk to some people in the cult. Yeah.
Is Klaus at level 17?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm level 7. I'm level 1 billion. Told you this last game day.
Yeah, we'll be dead in seconds.
Nah, we got a plan.
You know, it made me really kind of concerned when I went into the
You know
campaign
what?
on this computer. Because when I joined in, it was immediately met with it telling me that I didn't have something installed from the community stuff, and then when it installs the community thing, it's the Tarask model that shows up on my screen. And I was like, why am I downloading a Tarask mini?
You know, I do have Gate. Maybe we can think of something.
But then we'd have to, again, figure out how to get back.
Yeah.
Above table, if you choose the right class and race, you can kill a Tarask level 1.
Can Tarask swim?
You want to drown it?
the simplest
Cast
solution. Either
gate
that or
and
just
make
the
a really
biggest
big
gulf you can
gate,
find.
and then no, cast gate, make a really big gate, throw it into the elemental plane of Earth. Problem solved. It's gonna suffocate.
Or can we just throw it into hell?
What's the race that can fly? The Ajani, is that it? Eric, yeah, you play an Eric Crofta, and you go wizard with him. You take firebolt, and you just fly above the Tarask where it can't reach you, and just firebolt it to death at level 1 with a cantrip. Yeah,
It does have legendary resistance though, so you'd have to hit it with a lot of sacred flames.
well, yeah, but if you can fly, it's never gonna reach you. You just
Yeah.
cast it all day.
Unless, of course, I do know somebody that said, that's the case unless, of course, there is the DM that decides that they're going to make it so that the Tarask can, like, fling rocks at you and stuff.
Above table, I think I've solved it. Late, if you want to look at your Twitch chat. So I redeemed my 3,000 points on his Twitch to ban an in-game thing, and I put player characters level 1 through 19 are banned. Players can only be level 20 for the rest of this campaign, and players that are not level 20 become level 20. Oh no, I said player characters. But those aren't player characters, those are DM characters.
Yeah. Well, you didn't say that in the ban. You didn't say the DM couldn't make the characters whatever level.
DM's gonna have fun.
Yeah, make them level 30.
I don't know what happened. Tailspire says, or it's still showing me on the map, but everybody is gone, and it says disconnected.
Yeah, you'll have to exit to your desktop and relaunch it. I've had to do that once already. I think Tailspire servers are crapping out because of the storm.
Are we gonna stop here, or was there anything?
I was about to head to the cult building.
All things
Oh, okay.
considered, I'm going to ask this. I'm not just gonna say I'm gonna do this because I'd prefer to ask. Above table. Wait, do you at all have like whatever is between me and the Shield Guardian planned, or anything? All right, because I was gonna say, all things considered, it's 3 miles away. Phalar could be like, "Hey, Singe, wanna go on a quick trip?" And then we just go figure out where it is. But I wouldn't want to. I mean, unless you would be fine with it, I wouldn't want to make you have to just throw something together.
So I
Because
don't
I
know
have
what
to be within 10
happened.
feet of it to activate it, so.
I don't know what happened, but it says waiting on GM, and it has me back at Vale.
Yeah, hit space and go to the boards and choose.
Yeah, Vale is the default map, so anytime that you join the campaign, it'll bring you back to it.
Yeah, go to village and then.
Okay, it just put me back there automatically.
You probably got pulled over
Yeah.
by one of the 2 people with permissions for that.
Yeah, I can move now, so.
Yeah, so I'll head off to the cult building. Got some stuff I need to discuss in there.
So, I mean, I would love for the Shield Guardian to just magically appear in front of me, but the amulet has to be within 10 feet of it to reactivate it. It's not very far from where we are, but like I said, I wouldn't want to throw that on you last second. And unless you got like a spare ruin or dungeon map laying around, and then you can just throw the Shield Guardian mini into it and call it a day.
Now it says waiting on GM again. I moved myself to the farm, and then it froze me and says waiting on GM.
I'm waiting on GM too.
Okay,
Oh.
there we go. Now I can move.
Yep. The
It was being
place between
okay.
boards.
It was being okay until somebody asked, "Are we stopping here?" And then it started getting all fucked up.
I left. I had to. I'm relaunching Tailspires when you don't see me.
Maybe I'm gonna do that too, actually, because mine just went ape.
Yeah, I've had to do it. It works for like 15, 20 minutes, and then you'll have to do it again.
Huh.
I relaunched Tailspire a few minutes ago, but not because I was having connection issues. I might have just barely dodged it. I did it because I've just been keeping an eye on like the computer's temp and stuff, so I was closing it for a moment to give it a couple minutes to just cool down to make sure, because I can't see what the CPU's temperature is, so I'm just being safe.
Well, why do I not have any issues?
Well, that computer has a massive freaking cooling system on it, so it should be okay.
Yeah, I find it kind of funny. I can see the GPU's temperature at all times. I can't see the CPU's through Task Manager, and the other thing to be able to check it isn't installed as far as I can tell. I think that's kind of funny.
Man, compared to Star Citizen, this barely heats up my computer at all now.
Yeah, Star Citizen will get your computer toasty.
I can cook with Star Citizen.
Unless you have my computer. I don't think Star Citizen would do much damage to mine, heat-wise.
It runs pretty good on mine. Doesn't get too hot. Right, where do I need to go to head to the cult? Late. Where is the tavern at here?
Alright, so Antonia, I came up to the gate. Is it still open? Does he realize who I am and let me in?
You said this is the tavern here?
Real quick, what is this little, like, stair system to my left? This thing.
I might need to be summoned too.
Okay.
Ah, here's everyone.
Yeah, this little building to my left, is that, like, used? Or is that just there? I put the little blue sphere on it. To my left here, right by the gate. Okay, so there's people up there? Okay. I'm trying to find... What? Alright, so I'm gonna try to pin this out for you. So if I come up this way, is there access to this rooftop here? Okay, because then what I would like to do is Antonia will come up that thing. She's gonna go to the rooftop here, and she's gonna sit and hang her feet over because she's contemplating next move in general for finding more information about her father and the chalice.
Palar's just been kind of wandering around, and then he found all of these stalls and stuff, so he's just kind of browsing around them. Probably not particularly, determined to find something to buy. It's just like kind of when you go to like a place and you're like, wonder what they've got for sale. Like, oh, hey, look, farmer's market. What are they up to?
He'll pull it out of his robe and open it up and investigate.
Yeah, it crapped out on me again, so I'm on my way back.
No worries. I was trying to see where they were, but I can't find it anymore. Oh well.
Alright, what's Moonstone? Is that the name of the village?
Yeah.
Alright, go to board. There I am.
All right. Klaus would walk up to the bartender, order the biggest pitcher of ale they have, and tell him he's here for the special drink, the last breath. Thank you. He'd grab a mug off the counter and walk toward it and go in and shut the door behind him. And as he goes in and shuts the door, he will put the dagger of denial in it to lock it. I will move the barrels out of my way and open the door. And proceed to head down it.
I use the bathroom real quick.
I don't know if it will if Derek stays on the board, because he's a GM too.
Oh, it did it again.
Yeah, it's happened to me 3 times now where it's just crapped out, and
It finally hasn't done it to me again in a while.
yeah, the 3rd time I had a error message popped up that said that I was completely what was I was completely disconnected from all Tailspire services and to restart.
Probably. What board would I need to go to?
Moonstone Village.
The
Oh,
hideout.
I'm just gonna use Theater of the Mind. I think Tailspire is a write-off tonight, I think.
Tavern basement with sewer. Okay, here we go. Waiting on GM.
Sin just like has the Steel Defender automatically following Faye as he's reading over the cultist book and the particular sheet that was sticking out.
I guess Otto will just be following Singe. Mhm.
It looks like a Final Fantasy party line. Yep.
You vaguely hear dun 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 dun. Hey, there's a little
All right.
conga line going on.
Yes,
Available
yes.
at the tavern. Yeah, it says waiting on GM.
Oh, waiting on GM.
Oh yeah, Derek's not there, so
I'm giving it a rest for tonight.
Because of my color blindness, I went over to late stream just so I could see what the map or the little basement looked like. But because he doesn't have the light turned on for it, it's just a black screen for me.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't even see my mini on the board.
Ooh, Pathfinder 2nd edition on sale?
Yeah, I was looking at the difference between the 2024 and 2014 Shield Guardian, and for some reason, the 2024 version is immune to being petrified, and the 2014 one isn't. I just thought that was kind of interesting. It's probably because it's made of stone already, I'd assume.
Since I have night vision, I'll turn my torch on so I can at least see. Yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of wine down here.
Chug it all.
Yeah. Storage. Yep. I'll go through it. Oh yeah, I didn't even see it. Yeah, I think. Hold on, let's see. There we go. Yeah. Can I do an investigation to see if I see opening anywhere? Oh, okay. I will go. Yeah, go down that. Do I hear anything? Do I hear talking or whispers or anything as I'm walking? Just keep making my way down. whereabouts and see what's going on. I want to do the Captain Insano move and poke him in the eyes and say, "There's your password." Captain Insano shows no mercy. You know, you could really wear a mask to protect your eyes. As I'm gonna walk up to him and ask him, "Who's in charge here?" And where might I find her at in here? I will open this door to my left and see if anybody's in here. That's where I need to look. Okay, I'll keep walking. I'll leave the door open because I don't care. Look in. Anybody in here? Nope. Okay. Keep walking. I'll peek my head in here. All right. I will back out before I go in there, and I'll go check out this last door before going in. Make sure there's nobody else. I don't know why I hit that by accident. Okay. Anybody in here? Okay. I'll just leave the door open. I'll walk back. I'll come in. I'll stand right here and ask who's in charge. I'm not turning around here. Oh well. While you're doing that, what's happening to the rest of the guys in the tavern? How goes looking at the book?
Great question.
Phalar?
He's just been kind of looking around. He's taken his time because he's, like I said, being inside of the walls is making him feel calm. So
He's not rushing it.
yeah, he's just kind of taking his, taking in what he can of feeling sort of safe. Because he's like always on edge, hence why he's always got his hand on his dagger, like somebody ready to draw their pistol at any moment. But seeing the fort walls and how secure the guards are with it and vigilant they are, he's like, yeah, I'm okay here. So he's enjoying that feeling for the time being. I'm also trying to add the shield guardian to my sheet so that way I don't have to switch back and forth between it, because you can do that with creatures. I always forget that.
What is Singe doing? Just hanging out. I think he's autopiloting.
Uh-huh.
Adonia's thinking about what she learned from Derek.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out her next step to try to find information about her father and where to go with this chalice hunt. And what time of the day is it? AM, PM, PM. She'll probably, because of the long trip and then all the battle with the champion and the golem and stuff like that, just kind of took a toll. So she'll probably unknowingly, because she's just sitting there relaxing, thinking, just kind of drifts off to sleep and then lays down to her side. So she just kind of fell asleep up there on the roof. Dun, 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 dun. Hey.
Phalar might see about where the tavern is and see if he can refill his canteen or his flasks with something different, because he's still got some of that wine from the fair. He's gone through about half the bottle, considering he's been sharing it.
Above the
He
table.
just
The last breath is a good one to order.
It's like, oh, that's our best seller. No, oh, gunshot sound. It's like, sir, he's currently bleeding out from the chest from the gunshot. Do you want to get one too?
This is our best seller. No, it isn't. And then all of a sudden he's a chicken.
Just gets
polymorphed
true,
into a chicken.
not just polymorph, just true polymorph gets cast on him. Yep.
No, as soon as he casts, or as soon as he turns into a chicken, then you hear the cook just scream out, "Chicken soup!" That's why no one's around to disagree. They could turn into a chicken and then soup.
You'd tell him to go through the door and the door would be locked.
Poke the other
No,
eye.
here's the question. If you true polymorph somebody into a chicken and then the chicken is consumed, is that still cannibalism?
No.
couple mugs end up catching fire.
Oh my god.
Did
All I
everyone
hear
get a
is
counter
crunching.
point?
It'd been funnier if everyone just points at each other, like, who's in charge here? And everyone's pointing at somebody different.
Yeah.
Kind of like a I'm Spartacus moment.
One way to confuse outsiders so they don't know who's in charge. Seeing them point to her, he would walk up to her and tell her we need to talk in private.
Mr. Klaus, I know you're doing your thing, but your chat is saying pay attention to your chat.
I'm not getting off chat. We still got a while. How's it going, Jersey Smooth? I'm playing with some guys, some DnD with the boys.
Hi there. So, Jersey, you come here often?
Oh, what up, Troy? It's not Jersey, it's Troy. These are guys I went to school with back in the day.
Hey, late.
Back in the day, I'm pretty
Do
sure
you want me
back in the
to
day, you're back in the day for me is probably my teens.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Oh, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, I was in my 30s still.
Oh, yeah, what up, Jersey and Troy?
do you want me to like, cause there's that list of alcohols on World Anvil, and there's a thing to roll from the list. Do you want me to like roll something on there and then order that from the bartender?
It's back before the above table. It says back before the gray hairs. I'm sitting here going, well, let's see. 10 years ago would have been in my 30s. I was balding and I had gray. So, and not before my grays.
I wanted to discuss the change in leadership here. You will be stepping down as the leader. Yes. I'll need I'll need you to get me up to speed on everything happening around here. And then he will tell her to find out any research she can on the Lord of the Hells, set up a meeting with him. And then he said he would say, I have other business to attend to. And he would make his way back to the tavern. That's a cool looking door that opens. I like that vault door.
I'm
The veggie,
I'm
the
laughing
veggie
because
burgers will be on the side for somebody else. For Pharaoh.
Oh,
I need my veggies.
I'll just go back up, unlock the door, and go back out into the tavern.
Alright, I rolled 47. Yeah, I already looked at what it is if you want me to tell you. So pretty much the way that I'm imagining this is like Phalar would have been like, do you have anything strong or exotic? And then the tender would have just been like, here, look at the list. And then he just randomly chooses one. So it's 47 is Moody Cider, made from apples of Triance. However they were feeling when the fruit was harvested is the emotion the drinker will experience for the next hour. So pretty much it's a hard cider from Treant apples, and if I drink it, then whatever the Treant was feeling when it was harvested is what I feel.
It's like you're listening to death metal for the last 4 hours, and so it transfers.
Yeah, the description says every drink is a gamble: exuberance, depression, fits of laughter, shyness, love, or confusion.
You're just experiencing like all 12 stages of grief after one drink.
So, he probably would have gone for a bottle and then filled one of his flasks and then just like drank from the bottle a pint. I don't know how much that would cost since it doesn't actually have like a full effect. It's just a flavor thing. We'll do a bottle because I can see a possible use for this.
I want to walk
So
up to the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'd imagine the bottle is probably all gonna display the same emotion because it's probably from the same treant. So whenever somebody drinks this, they're gonna end up angry. All right. He'll place it on the counter
Above the table.
with a bit of aggression, and then like kind of grab the bottle, not quite white knuckling it, but pretty firmly grabbing it, and then he's gonna put it in his pack, and then instead of saying anything, he's just gonna give a nod and go sit down.
So above the table, I just noticed, bam, top left-hand corner, you're still labeled as Steve.
Yeah. I don't know how to change that.
Change your name
Wait,
to
you can't,
Cleve.
you can't change your name now that you lost connection to the server.
I know. I gotta wait. Try to come back. Well, as this is.
So now Phalar is angry for the next hour.
I will go to the bartender and tell them to keep the alcohol coming, and I'll go up to the group and tell them, let's have a drinking game and play some drinking games and drink.
But you'd probably immediately notice that he's definitely got like he's no longer in his calm or like slight paranoia state that he'd usually be in. He's got like a visible look on his face like he's in the middle of combat. Like that, like the combat thrill anger. And he's just sitting at a table as you're approaching. Well, I stuffed the bottle in my bag, but the flask that I am drinking from for the pint that I did pour from it is probably, yes, being white knuckled in my hand.
Depending on his strength, above table, depending on his strength, would he, like, break it?
Oh, I'm not very strong.
Ah, that's noted now. So, if Antonia picks a fight with you...
If we want to do the drinking
I'm
game,
very dexterous, but I've only got a strength of 11.
I got a 16.
Also, my curses and stuff are pretty decently potent, but
If we want to do the drinking game late, we can use that tolerance thing I had pinned in the chat.
oh yeah, we were talking about that after one of the recent sessions and kind of talking about everybody's tolerances. I don't remember what everybody else was saying theirs would be, but I said, given I know that Phalor has a light body weight, he's only 31 pounds, but he'd probably still be heavyweight because most of the alcohol is going to just leave his body since he's half non-existent. That and he drinks to, ease pain, so he's used to it.
But
I'm
here's
not sure what
anyway.
everybody else's tolerances would be.
So above the table late, while Andonia drifted off and fell asleep, something that we've been talking about, if you want me to DM it to you, I can, but something we've been talking about, would anything happen in that orientation? I can DM it to you. That way that way I can explain it better.
I would. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say Klaus is probably a medium weight at the highest medium weight at 15, just because he's probably a heavy drinker from his past, but he's not a heavyweight.
So he'd probably be on the high end of medium weight.
Yeah, his tolerance would be the 15, not a 6, and then heavyweight is 16 to 30.
So I sent you the DM late, and if it's something I gotta roll for, I'll roll for it.
And then
Okay.
and then the next one, a single point. You get a point to your tolerance is equivalent to a 12-ounce mug of ale.
Yeah,
So each
I'm looking at it.
12
So,
ounce
like, for example, if you had, like, a tolerance of 5, then you could handle probably, 5 12-ounce mugs, and
before
then you'd be at your maximum.
you'd be at blackout, and if you drank any more, you'd have to roll on the blackout table.
Yeah. Some of those are quite interesting.
Let's see. I'll go all the way. I'll get blackout.
So it's 16 to 30. He's probably at, like, 17 or 18 for his. I'll go with 17. So he would have to be chugging quite a bit or taking some pretty strong stuff.
So yeah, I'll reach my max tolerance. We can decide if we want to drink any more and hit the blackout table or not.
Otto will probably drink a little bit, but not blackout drink.
Can I spike Otto's drink with, what is it? Why I had the bartender bring him stuff. Can I spike it? Where is it? No.
I got reaching tolerance as well. If you don't go any further and you just reach tolerance, disadvantage on and -5 to all intelligence, dexterity, and wisdom checks and saving throws, and you have a -10 to perception.
I want to put ghost dust in the drinks for everybody. I'll go to the bartender and ask him for it.
what
I'm sure they deal on that.
the fuck is ghost dust?
But don't worry about it.
It's the dead relative of gold dust.
We're gonna be drinking probably a barrel or two. I want enough to spike a whole barrel or 2 barrels.
What the fuck?
Math.
It'd be funny if he's like, "How many gold do you have?" "I've got 2,000." "Oh, you need 2,001."
Where's the list for those? Yeah, I'm just curious where those are. I see it.
Yeah. I'll give him 300 gold and tell him to double it. I'll slide it back to him and say you put it in there so they won't be suspicious. I'll walk back to the party and said I had him bring out the strongest stuff, boys.
Well, we'll have to see about that. I do hope that it is strong. He's kind of got like an edge to his voice. He's like, yeah, I'd sure hope so. Well, Phalar is still angry for however long of an hour is still remaining, so he's probably not going to be paying attention to that. He's just like, I'm going to drink. But then, I mean, he's not like paying any heed to the possibility of them being spiked. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to drink.
He's going to drink from his wine skin that refills.
Not the wine skin again.
I'm going to tell the party I've already got some in here. It's really good. This is a celebration for you. Allow me to join the party.
Wait.
Yeah, 1 sec. Gotta get DnD Beyond to reload. In just a moment.
Are you drinking any auto? You said
Um.
you were.
Yeah, auto would take a little bit. All right.
There we go.
Oh wait.
The disappointment in that, just alright.
12.
Is Sin
12.
drinking?
12. All right.
I got a 13.
Is Sin's drinking?
It feels... He'll kind of look down at himself and then look around and realize he can still see in color and just... Then he'll look over to it and look back down at the tankard. If I remember correctly, it also lets you do something else, but that, and then isn't it you can see through into the ethereal, which I know that I can like partially do that, but I'm imagining like I'm just seeing completely into it right now, as would Otto. So Otto, pretty much, since we both failed the con save,
Yeah.
Phalar is partially used to this sort of thing, but he's still like, whoa, because he didn't do it himself. But pretty much you're experiencing what Phalar experiences right now.
Can
You're
you?
completely weightless and you can see the ethereal.
Oh.
Yeah, how did
Like it looks like you can see spirits wandering around in the tavern and stuff, like as if you were in the ethereal plane.
you probably see a lot from what happened in this village.
Yeah. It's like the population of the tavern just doubles from all of the ghosts hanging around in there.
Oh.
Singe, do you drink?
Uh, is Faye drinking?
Yeah, I took I took one.
No, Faye would. Singe would try it.
He would actually, as you're doing that, he would look to Otto and then look back to himself and then look to Singe and then be like, if you do take the drink, do keep in mind you're going to know how it feels to be me in a way. He's trying to keep that anger away from the other cider that he drank. So he's got an edge to his voice, but
Oh,
13.
yeah, you feel weightless and you can see into the ethereal plane.
oh.
So you're seeing all of the ghosts that are in the tavern as well as us.
The steel defender just like emptied the mug into the suit and put it down, and the suit's just like not moving, but there's like moving lights inside the suit.
Maybe it takes on like a ghostly blue glow. As we've all pretty much gone like partially ethereal.
Just slowly going through the hues of blue and purple.
We've made Singe RGB.
Would anybody care for a little game of blackjack?
It's just awkwardly that silent at the table.
I know.
Well, I
Everyone's
would say.
nobody's able to hear you over the ghosts.
I would say. What was it? I was too drugged. Exactly.
Phalar is probably not as enthralled, but he's very much entertained by the fact that he has this much of a extended period of seeing into the ethereal, because it's usually only a minute for him.
So at this point, Andonia is gonna wake up realizing she had drifted off.
Oh, to freak him out, can I search the bar and see if there's a hand axe laying around anywhere?
Is Clef supposed to look the same in the ethereal? What does it look like? His old self, zombie.
Yeah,
anything that would be in the ethereal would be missing color. So like you'd still be able to see the tavern in color, but any ghosts would be monochrome.
Hmm.
How long would it take me to search around the bar to find a Pandat? I will reach at it and tell them I'm borrowing this for a minute. I'll come back to the table, and while they're all high out of their mind, I'll say, "Do y'all want to see something crazy?"
No answers because he is way too fucking high right now.
Singe is probably in there tripping too, and Taylor kind of looks over. He's again, he's partially used to this, but not to this extent. So he is a little bit distracted because you can hear all of the chatter from the spirits around him.
Klaus.
He does look over. He does acknowledge, but he doesn't say anything.
Klaus will try and get their attention, so they will focus on him. He'll say, "Look at this."
Hmm.
I don't even know if there's a check for them.
Taylor probably mutters something under his breath about how the tavern is too loud.
He'll whistle at him and tap on the table. Say, "Look over here, guys. Look." Yeah, trying to give him the look. Do I get anybody's attention?
Phalar has acknowledged. I don't know about the other two. He's also still in the angry state, so he's just like, this tavern is loud.
Otto is
Complaining.
not paying attention to you. Just staring at all the ghosts.
I'll poke Otto with my staff and say, "Look over here."
He looks at you annoyed and said no.
Oh my god.
Singe is picking up a lantern that he has on his steel defender and like holding it up to his head, and you can hear like liquid being poured into it.
Trying to get their attention. That's what I'm trying to see.
You've done this to yourself.
So, so now that Adonia is awake late, you said to wait until she was awake. So she's gonna look around. Is anybody around other than the guard at the gate? Alright, so she's gonna hold the parchment, and then pull the dagger out, and then look upon the paper. Yeah, I figure you're probably gonna DM it.
Can I cast Charm Person on Otto and Singe? I'll cast it twice.
Cast what?
Charm Person.
Oh my god, not again.
You are gonna look one way or another.
Not again. What is it? It's charisma saving?
Wisdom.
Oh god.
You were hoping for that charisma.
No!
Oh, that one.
No!
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
bagman's coming to play.
Oh goodness. Maybe I should start rolling a new character.
You're just effectively charming my steel defender, aren't you?
Wait, he
Which it
charmed.
is immune to charm.
Wait, did you charm Auto or charm Singe?
Both. I cast it twice.
Oh,
But the him Singe is just the steel defender that he's inside of.
yeah.
So the steel defender just doesn't change at all.
Oh yeah, because you haven't gotten out in front of him before, so he doesn't know.
Yep.
I wonder if Klaus would react to that, seeing that the Steel Defender is just completely unaffected.
There's no
Might-
attack roll with charm person, is there?
It's a wisdom save, but you're not, Steel Defender can't be affected.
So I have.
Not the steel defender, but I thought it might like use its reaction, but no.
I'm gonna look at Otto and say, "Watch this. Take this item once it lands on the table, and run around the town screaming with it. What have I done?"
You make yourself likable with it.
Alright, after reading the note, Andonia's gonna make an all-out sprint for the tavern. I can't move my character, so I'm just not even gonna bother with reloading the thing. Yeah, she wants to shoulder into the door.
Phalar would acknowledge that you've come in, but then immediately go back to looking around the room.
Alright, and do I see this Mr. Raven... What is it? Ravenholt? So he's there? Alright, I'm gonna force my way past whatever's in the path of between me and him, and then fling the arm and the unsharpened end of the blade I'm gonna put up to his face. Yeah, it's the... Oh, no, that's why I said she's gonna snap her arm, which deploys the blade, and then she's gonna put the non-sharpened part of it up to his neck.
I will. Let me get to it. I will use Shadow Jaunt and teleport to a dim space within 30 feet of me. That's unoccupied.
Wait, what?
And Antonia, in response, she's still gonna hold the full, like, deployed scythe.
I wouldn't be gone.
Eh.
I'll just be 30 feet and either dim or dark. Yeah, you'll have
Well,
to keep in mind.
I can't. Yeah, I can't see, so I don't
I'm
even know where the
watching the
tavern
stream.
is. Oh yeah, I need to. That'll probably help me.
Because my crashed against you. I'm just watching his stream.
All right, let me. Oh, it's an ad, so I can't see your screen at the moment. Ad break, crap.
Only you're a subscriber. Well, I think because you're the GM, you won't lose connection to the board.
I haven't had issues.
Says there's still 20 seconds left on the ad. Yeah, it's a crappy one, anyways. It's for PlayStation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and relaunch Telspire real quick.
While we're waiting for this, speaking of, did you guys hear about the new Xbox?
Yeah, it's basically just a computer.
No. Yeah, they've already got contracts with Valve for Steam, Epic Games Launcher, and GOG to have access to that on the new Xbox that's going to release in 2027.
Steam
Which means
You'll have PlayStation.
you have
exclusive.
PlayStation games through Steam and everything on your Xbox. So no more God of War only on PlayStation, Bloodborne, all that. You can now have it on Xbox. And then next year, they're saying is it's either later this year or early next year is the Xbox handheld. And that I'm kind of excited for because Microsoft is rumors to have been in talks with the handheld division of Nintendo for pointers. So that's going to be interesting. All right, the ad's over. Okay, now I'm looking here. Let me make this a full screen.
I can move.
Okay, so I ran up to there. He's there. All right, but is he still like? I know he said low light. Is he still visible?
Hold on, I gotta get D&D Beyond pulled back up because of stupid Telspire. Un momento. Elections, campaigns.
I also just lit up a lantern that's shedding bright light in 30 feet radius with dim light for an additional 30 feet. Invisible creatures and objects are visible as long as they're within the lantern's bright light.
Did you just
And
turn it on?
Kinda, yeah.
was it you? You said you pulled the lantern off right before I come busting in, didn't you?
Yeah.
At some point, whenever I said I put the lantern up to my head and fill it with a liquid, I was lighting it up. At least anywhere the Steel Defender carries it. An invisibility revealing lantern at that.
No.
Yep, one of his infusions.
While in dim light or darkness, I get +1 to AC and necromancy spells get +2 to their things. No.
No, beyond 30 feet is dim light. Any closer and it's all bright.
Man, your thing, it just finished an ad break, and then it went to another ad break.
Wow.
All right, it was a short one. It was like 5 seconds, and it was for candy. It was just a Hershey bar that spun in a circle, and then it was over. I got it up on here. All right, so
I want to cast Faithful Hound on me.
yes, the cute little dog is spookier. No, I'm just saying in general. I can see it on your stream.
I don't see it. I lost fucking. It's whatever. It's fine. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's fine right there. I'll have it just sitting there.
All right, so do I see him, or is it something I got to roll for? He's out in the open. He just
Probably
kind of
working around the
poofed.
bar after I teleported.
She's just gonna point her scythe in his direction, just with a stern, aggressive look. And she's, without even any hesitation, just gonna blurt it right out. Explain yourself, Klaus.
Explain what, my dear lass?
And she's gonna hold the parchment with her left hand. She's gonna walk to the other side of the table where he's at. And then she's just gonna slam it down and slide it over so he can see it. And then as he's going to look at it, she's going to say, I received a visitor while I was asleep.
I'll grab the paper and look at it. I'll look at her and say, so, what does this have to do with me?
Not even changing her facial expression, still aggressive and straightforward. She's going to look at me like, that is you. So explain yourself.
I have nothing to explain. Him and I did not see eye to eye on everything. It is true I walk a dark path, but I have nothing to explain. You are after your goal, I am after mine. And I'll use any means necessary to achieve that goal.
She's going to hold her staff down next to her, or not staff, but the scythe down next to her, so it's bleeding everywhere. And then, while still looking at him straight in the face, she's gonna have the the acid spit rolling down her face, like drool. And then she's just gonna look at him and to the I'm trying to think how to put it, like to the extent of while looking at him, just kind of like a gruff, aggressive growl sound. She's gonna say, no. She's just doing her thing. So the acid drool is dripping on the table, obviously, so it might cause damage. But she's gonna be doing this, and in that raspy, growly voice, she's gonna say one reason, and then she's gonna point the scythe back at him and say, "Just give me one reason, and it will be your last." And then she's just gonna turn and start walking towards her friends.
Klaus will say, "You can try, but it may be your last."
Oh, she's gonna ignore it. And then she was gonna go and check on her friends.
Phalar a little bit more conscious than the others, as was established, so he does look over to you, and he's still, the hour hasn't fully passed yet. We're probably coming to the close of it, but it hasn't fully passed, so he's still angry from the cider. So, like, he kind of, his head jerks over to look at you, and he just has this kind of annoyed look on his face. Not at anything in particular, just kind of staring annoyed at you. And then he looks around, and since you haven't consumed the stuff, you don't see the ghost, and he's just like, "This tavern is far too loud. They need to quiet themselves." As you approach, he's just complaining about it being really loud in the tavern.
All right, so if and she and Donia go up to, since Balar's the only one who acknowledged, and try to snap him out of it, and she's just gonna kind of haul off and slap him in the face.
Do you want me to make any kind of roll or anything to see if that, like, breaks the me seeing and hearing the ethereal? Like, if that sobers me?
What do you? So with it, he said that it's near the end of the hour, and I'm slapping to try to break him out of it. Does that give any type of bonus?
Well, the hour was for I drank a cider that was made by treant apples, and the cider makes you feel what the treant felt when the apples were harvested, and it was angry, so now I'm angry.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's he said it's near the end of the hour, and I'm slapping him to try to snap him out of it. Does that give any kind of bonus?
I do think the ghost dust does have a duration on it as well, which. So yeah, I'd probably be coming up near the end of that too, because he hasn't drank another one from that particular barrel yet, because he's been too distracted. All right.
Uh,
Well, that's a 14. Yeah, because I rolled 11 plus. No, wait, yeah, that'd be a 13 then.
I'm not sure how it would play out, but my flash of genius says I can give you a +4 to your saving throw. I guess it depends on the order that we make our saves. If I go first, then maybe I do him after me as I figure it out. $22. It's a 2.
Ow.
Well, hopefully that isn't long. But as he like comes to and starts to understand, he'll get the steel defender to turn and like give him like water or something to like dilute it or something and help him recover.
They kind of, as the anger fades and stuff, at first, he would be quite irritated, and then once the water is put down in front of him, then he takes it, and then, he drinks it, and as both the anger and the ghost dust are starting to wear off, he kind of looks over, and he's like, for one, thank you for the water. For two, maybe a bit of a warning next time if possible. I don't know if you gave me one, it was too loud. I've not seen that many spirits in one place in a long time.
Antonia's gonna look at the two of them. She's gonna say, I cannot pinpoint it, but I am fairly certain that our new friend, Mr. Ravenholt, had something to do with this. And then she's gonna take that parchment note and show it to them while going over to Otto and seeing how he is.
See, that's how I know they're wrong, because he said Klaus Ravenholt. I'm Klaus Ravenheart. So it's a completely different guy.
Well, the note says Ravenholt. That's why I went off of that.
Yeah, see, you got the wrong guy over here accusing me.
Sinjo splash Otto with some water too.
What?
I'm
Otto's
if
still
he's
high?
yeah, if he's still out of it, I'm slapping him too.
Oh my god, he is still out of it.
Oh yeah, Flash of Genius can't help that.
So
I actually rolled
4,
Dex,
5,
but Con is the
so
same.
yeah, you would have had a 10 with the flash and the slap.
I mean, it's the same though.
He said his
mean,
bonus for Con and
That
Dex
didn't
is the
help at
same.
all.
Yeah.
He went from
I
a
mean,
10
it
to an
doesn't
11.
really matter.
You still have your heroic inspiration you can use to make it a 20.
I don't have
What
that.
Did you use it in the fight against the chain golem?
I don't remember anymore, but maybe I just never had it. That's fine.
Sinjo put Otto in a barrel.
I think I was the only one that used mine.
I used mine also.
Okay.
I have not.
So everybody else still has theirs.
Have what?
The heroic inspiration.
Oh yeah, no. I still got it.
So yeah, you should have it
And-
too, Auto.
Yeah, he is out.
Sinjo put him in a barrel.
So Phalar was reading the note, and then he looks at Indonia, and now being back to, he's like, I'm guessing you probably already confronted him about it, and if my intuition is right, you weren't very happy.
Oh, I confronted him. No, I'm not happy. That letter, or that note, was left for me as I took a quick nap outside.
This is a thing to ask late as well. Would I have to roll anything to? And yeah, this is gonna be what I'm about to ask is completely above table thing to ask here, of course. Would I be able to roll to see if Phalar recognizes that signature as well?
Well,
So above
I was
table,
in the
you can't even hear
process
it.
of yeah. I was in the middle of explaining where the letter came from when you jumped in. Well, when Phalar jumped in. Oh, I was saying, the note was left for me while I took a nap outside, and upon waking up, found the note. And I mean, it above table it does say my daughter in there, so that should have given it away for people. But the note was left for me by my father, who has extensive knowledge of our new friend here.
Actually, the better question would be, would he recognize Klaus's name? Like, as more than, like, would he have that detail?
Klaus will start walking outside, and he'll look back at Adonia and say, "If you think your father will protect you, then come outside and have a duel with me, and let's see if he does show up to
I'd
protect
say,
you or not."
as he's walking out the door after he says that, as soon as he's past the doorway, Phalar kind of looks up at Andonia and he's like, I can tell that there is definitely a heated situation going on here, and I cannot control your or our potential allies' decisions, but I will say that from what I know, yes, this is correct. He does have a bit of will to go against the morals of the world, but I can't say I myself am a clean slate either, and I've done you no harm, so maybe we just keep an eye on him and give him a chance to start?
And she's gonna look at everybody, and she's gonna let them know that she already issued him a non-empty threat as to it will only take one reason or one thing for her to not trust him anymore and to not give her that reason.
We do have to only hope that they follow it. We need all of the help that we can get for this kind of enemy.
So will Adonia accept the duel challenge?
Well, she has no reason to accept a duel challenge.
To see if it came from your father. I said, let's see if he would protect you.
Oh, I know. That's why I said she doesn't have a reason to do a duel or accept a challenge at this given moment, because she didn't attack him or anything inside of the tavern, because he hasn't given her a reason to, but she said pretty much don't give her a reason to. So she's 50-50 on the matter. So it's, yes, father, whom she doesn't know that well, has said that you're a bad person, but at the same time, you haven't done anything yet to the party or herself to say that you are a bad person. That's why she is, in her mind, doesn't have a reason to accept the duel.
Right now? Oh. So did he? Did is Otto waking up? Is that what you mean? Hmm. Hmm. Otto wakes up and sort of rubs his stomach and tries to look for anything that he can find to eat. Anything in his backpack, like rations or something.
I think Phalar may
I
want to come
messaged you
outside.
late. I pretty much copy pasted the same message to both of you.
Yeah, I said I was okay with it.
So I'd say, you know, Phalar seeing the note, seeing the name on it, seeing the signature, seeing the situation is getting tense and everything. And, you know, now that he's back to his senses, he's going to be like, everyone, we've had a long travel, and it takes a lot to get me tired myself, but, I will go coax our new friend or ally, whatever you want to call him, back inside and see if we can't just cool off and rest for the night, why don't we? And he's gonna stand up and walk out the door of the tavern.
Andonia is going to. I don't know why I just attempted to try to move the screen. I'm looking at your stream. She's going to see from your stream furthest left table, and she's going to sit at that one. So all the way in the back by those. I think those are stairs there. Yeah. Well, the round table. Yeah, there. The by the torch. Yep, back in there.
I'm just assuming that by now it's probably evening.
When Phalar,
Otto. Oh yeah, go ahead.
when Phalar comes outside, I'm gonna tell him to follow me. That things have gotten out of control, and we need to go meet somebody to set things straight. And I'm gonna have him follow me to Derek's house.
I
Okay.
don't know if you wanna.
Then is it Otto's turn?
Yeah, while he's moving us, you can go auto.
Otto. Is he
Well,
still in
Babuy.
the barrel, or is he on a bed or something?
I forgot he got put in the barrel. Again, it's
Otto
that thing
gets
when you
out
miss
of
a
the-
session of D&D and then it's like, why am I in a barrel floating down a river?
Otto is not even thinking about that. He just instantly gets out of the barrel and then went to look for food. Assuming they're in an inn right now, right? So he probably go downstairs. Yeah, going to pay for it for sure. Yes.
Someone's got the munchies.
Sinja just put him in the barrel to keep him safe, turned around to see about the duel thing happening, turns back, the barrel's empty. Oh, I lost him!
He's doing the Ron Weasley thing from that one scene in the Harry Potter movies where he's just gorging himself and then the others are like, really? And he's like, what? I'm hungry.
Jeez.
Baba Booey.
You can drag T also if you want, since he voices Derek.
I don't know if anybody else heard that, but it was like it played like a melody because it played the the leaving, moving, and joining messages like all like 0.1 seconds after each other. So as I joined, I hear.
I didn't get anything because I have streamer mode enabled, so I didn't hear any of it.
Yeah, it gave me like a melody instead of just playing the sound. So it was everything playing all at once.
I got control back of Klaus. I've regained control. Oh,
So I'd say as we're walking, when Phalar first steps out, Klaus is probably expecting to see Andonia, I'm guessing.
yeah.
And instead Phalar walks out. He doesn't have like a weapon out or anything, so it's obvious that he's not trying to be hostile. And he's like, he kind of gives him that look for a moment as he's approaching, and then as he gets close enough to have it only be him that's audible, he's like, the name on the paper. I know it. You're Klaus. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
I know of what's happened in your past, a bit at least, and some things that the history books wouldn't be able to account for, but that being said, there seems to be some tension among the others, Andonia especially, about bringing trust to you, and it is very difficult for someone of my past experience to put any degree of trust in anybody singularly rather than a group. So I do hope that you take it into account that I myself am offering to give you a chance with our group. And knowing some things that have happened, I hope that you don't take it upon yourself to mess up any chances that we may give you.
As long as our goals stay aligned, I have no reason to betray y'all. I only want one thing.
I see no reason that any of us would follow Umbrio, so myself especially, I have a past with cults that I could not even begin to describe, and honestly, and you can roll for this if you want to, as he says this, honestly, I'd imagine you might even be able to take a wild guess as to who I used to be associated with by the fact that I know some of your past.
Do I need to make a history check for that? Skills. History. 25. Yes, I'm familiar with them.
So you understand why I am timid and nervous around others, why it is hard for me to trust, why, and then he looks at himself, kind of like a disappointment into his tone, why this has happened to me. When he died, it tore a part of me. And I'm only saying that because you were one of the ones to lay the last hand on him. So I entrust it to not be slipped to the others. I, in time, will tell them myself where I come from. All that matters now is that I am trying to redeem myself for what I have done, and I am putting trust into you that we will share this same goal of bringing about the entity evil of the world that is trying to destroy it.
Vecna was just a stepping stone to my goal, and I do not care for the evil of this world or what becomes of this world. I only want to bring down Umbriel.
Yes, yes, precisely.
I do not have. Wait, I'm trying to word it. Hold on. I do not have the gall to go around mindlessly killing, but I will use people as tools and killing as a way to achieve my goal, whether it be evil or not.
Your idea of bringing down Umbriel does pertain to the rest of us. I will tell you that. Personally, as I see it, most of us, if you give us a reason to trust you, will follow you without having to be manipulated. And I do hope that that remains the case, but I myself have no reason to get in the way of any goals that anybody has, so long as it is something that does not get in the way of myself or my moral standpoint. And as I said in the tavern, I am no clean slate myself, so I cannot judge you for it. I am just hoping, above all else, that this discussion remains between us. As I said, I will tell the others in time.
It will stay between us. And as I finish that, I'll walk to the door, and you can just you ain't got to drop them on the board, but I'll dump out my skeletons and cast knock on the door to unlock it and kick it open. And yell for Derek.
And almost as soon as you get the door open, Phalar's demeanor changes. He broadens back up, kind of shakes a little bit, like like the shoulder shake, and then he's completely changes back to his normal demeanor, and he's just like, so this is where the one known as Derek lives that you had mentioned.
Yes. What does Derek do?
Yep.
When he sees me kick open the door, with the skeletons all beside me. Even after I cast knock on it, I cast that first.
And I want to ask Khalid a question. What's the town defenses like? Yeah, did they have night patrols? And what's Derek standing in the village? Is he like pure madness? Have they like taken any sense from his ramblings? Okay, so as I'd imagine it, then Derek would probably have some quite fanciful stories of the hero adventures, and the townsfolk probably didn't quite believe him for it. But his level 17 skills have backed him up for every duel and challenge, and so they've kind of earned him respect. But at a distance, it's like, okay, you teach us a thing or two once in a while, but you also get a little crazy. So you're not really welcome to stay here. You're welcome to visit. So that's why he's outside of town. And he's more than happy to be that way. He just needs a good source of alcohol and food once in a while. He means well, but people drive him so flippin' crazy he can't be around them that long. I imagine though, like, out of his own still like sense of honor and stuff, he still like does like patrols outside the town and things, and they might encounter him at night and stuff, and he might like rescue the guard once in a while. I'm thinking by the time the guys come and kick in his door, his home's empty. He's out. He's packed up and moved. He's taken in the area around the town, seeing how things before pushing on, like, tracking down Klaus. Because Klaus is no joke to him. So he's gone seeking information and making sure everything's in order before he goes. So his home's probably a mess. There's like netting in the ceiling and stuff, like used to store things and stuff. But there's just like stains on the ground, alcohol. The place reeks of it. There's broken mugs here and there. There's like dummies and old training swords and stuff littered around. But it looks like it's a little too barren. Like maybe he had some personal equipment laying around the room that isn't there that should be.
Can I do a survival check to see if I get any signs of when he may have left or what direction he could have went? It's an 8. Okay.
How much longer did we want to run? Because I can probably do a little back and forth with late before next session to prepare Derek's encounter.
Yeah, I can hear Pharaoh in the other room talking, so I'm pretty sure Otto and him are chatting right now. Don't know what about, but
I sent you a message late, and we can move back to the other
just
chat.
before we
Town.
do that, pretty much to go out of character and say it for summary. Pretty much what Phalar was telling you was that he knows that you once did some shady deal for a moment with Vecna, and that you can probably guess that he did as well, given by how he looks and how he is, and the fact that he knows that about you, and that Klaus probably knows by that it takes a lot of faith and trust for him to trust anybody. So he's hoping that he doesn't wrong that trust, and that he also doesn't tell any of the other party members, because he will tell them when he wants to.
Yeah, sounds good.
He's pretty much saying, I'm putting a lot of effort into putting trust in you because you've dealt with Vecna too. You know what it's like.
It seems like the weather's changing. We got fog rolling in town. All right. So we can just go back to the other channel then.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Yeah, whenever we get back to town, I'll just go and get a room at the inn.
I have something to ask everybody, but I'm just waiting for the stream to end because it's more of a private thing. I already asked Jerry about it.